What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the only podcast on the internet where you're part of the Roto, part of the chill session, so to speak. Homer here with a very special episode. Today we are reviewing the latest single from August Burns Red, Frost, coming from their upcoming album, Phantom Anthem. And today's going to be a very special episode because about an hour ago, I just took an edible, a very tantalizing, delicious s'mores edible. It is really fucking me up. I'm really starting to get trippy now, really getting groovy, so I'm ready to get into this review, get down and dirty with it. Just so you guys know, August Burns Red, since high school, freshman year for me, which was about 10 years ago, has been my favorite band of all time. I was lucky enough to stumble upon them upon the release of the Messengers album, and instantly was hooked. Even Thrill Seeker got me hooked because in my opinion it has some of JB's best guitar work on it, and this song is no different. Right from the beginning I knew I was in for something special. It's a very fast-paced track, clocking in about 240 beats per minute, and that is pretty fast in the musical world. The opening is absolutely beautiful. It gives me vibes from their Christmas albums, giving you a chilling vibe of winter, and it's probably where the title comes in actually, and it once again showcases some of the tasty guitar work from JB, and I personally love the opening. Like I was saying, reminiscent of the Christmas album, really showing their roots, really showing their evolution, and I really love this track. The lyrics are very relatable to me personally, and impacted me greatly. To me, they kind of remind me of the lyrics from Identity, their last single from their last album, Majoring in the Minors. Their lyrics of hope and looking at yourself from a new perspective, delivering many memorable lines. My favorite being, I'll hide amongst the wind as I find myself among the stars. August Burns Red always delivers some impactful lyrics for me personally. I cannot wait to get some tattooed on me someday. And lyrics are very important to me in a song, and that's what is a huge appeal to me about August. They have some of the best lyrics in the game. And not just the lyrics, but the music hits hard as well. Pretty early on, we get a guitar solo that I can only describe as a musical out-of-body experience. You can't help but start headbanging instantly. I was down, and I gotta let you know, they released this track at midnight. I fell asleep early on, woke up at 4 a.m. I was like, oh yeah, the new August track, how did I forget? Played it at 4 a.m. I was dead tired. I still started headbanging. But I also love the emphasis they give to the bass near the end of the song, right before the bridge, which is something that you don't see too often in rock or metal anymore. Except maybe earlier this year in Seether's Let Me Heal, they displayed the bass pretty well in that song, and I'm glad to see the bass getting its showcase it deserves, because I always love to hear Dustin slap at the bass, and I can't wait to hear him showcase his skills more later on this album. This track is a great sign to come, because personally I thought that their first single was just okay. It could have been a little better in my opinion. It didn't really wow me like this song did. So we really needed this single, and we're just about a month out, and you better believe I'll have a full album review once that comes. And using our unique marijuana rating system, we're at the bottom we have resin. It's a black resin you scrape after your bowl to get a cheap high. It's usually for people who hate themselves. Then a step above that we got mids. That is your typical ditch brick weed. It gets you kind of a buzz, but you're looking for a little more of a fix. Then we got dank. That's where the song is pretty exceptional. You'll start rocking, but however, it just needs that little extra touch to take it to the next level. Then finally we got wax. That's where the grooves are making you leave your body, where you don't know who you are anymore because your mind is melting from how good this song is. Pretty much a perfect score, guaranteed high. And on that scale, I'm going to have to give this song, August Burns Red single, The Frost, a wax plus. This is why I love August Burns Red. I've been following him since the early days, and still, this late in the game, they are able to release one of my favorite songs ever. It is so rare to have a band always release such a standard of quality. I can't wait to hear this song live at their headlining show, and not only that, but hear what else this album has to offer. Ever since switching to Fearless Records, they've stepped up their game. That's kind of, I'm not sure if it's because Fearless Records, I don't know if it's because the band's so good, because they always step their game up in my opinion, although Constellation still being my favorite album. And speaking of seeing him live, once I see him at this headlining show, it'll be my 9th time seeing him. For my 10th time, I'm going to try to save it for something special, maybe perhaps the Constellations 10th anniversary tour. That would be really sick. I'm not sure if I could wait that long, but I think it'd be worth it. My 10th time seeing the Constellations tour, one of my favorite albums they've ever released, one of my favorite albums ever. I'm going to get the album tattooed on my foot, actually, the album cover. Cannot wait. So let me know what you guys think of the song. I thought it was pretty heavy. I thought it had a lot to offer and very different from your typical heavy metal song. Thank you for listening. If you have time, please visit our website, stonermanshow.com. There you can get information on our show, find some really cool memes and other cool stuff as well. Thank you for listening, and as always, stay lifted, my friends. Damn, am I fucking big. What's up, guys? Homer is back. Thank you for sticking around for the post credits. I just wanted to add this little tidbit in because the edibles are really kicking in now. Like, I'm truly peaking. And as I was editing this, I realized I forgot a lot of shit. I wanted to say that both singles, this and Invisible Enemy, to me make it feel like that this album is going to be more about delving into yourself. Same with the album cover. Self-discovery, embracing who you are from the inside, not the outside. And I think it's really cool getting more spiritual with it, kind of like Soul Sphere from Born of Osiris. I think that's really, really cool. And I wonder what else they're going to have in this album. Last album, Majoring in the Minors, they really shocked us with some really cool things, like what some people infamously call Jew-core breakdown in Separating the Seas. One of my favorite songs they ever released. It's so brutal, so heavy. I love Separating the Seas. I think it's underrated by far. And I wonder what they're going to do with this album. I saw a comment online, someone on Facebook saying, what if they have a kazoo solo? And that really got me thinking, please, August, do a kazoo solo. I think it would be sick. A heavy kazoo solo. Just picture it. I think it'd be wacky. I think they have all kinds of different instruments that you play around with. Even on this one, they played it around. I don't know what they used at the beginning of the song, but something to make it have that extra Christmassy vibe. And just listen to this right now. Oceans of empathy, people. Such good guitar work. Although, when it comes to August, which they're infamous, or maybe famous, I don't know, they're just known for singing about water all the time, like The Wake, this, Mariana's Trench, which is personally my favorite if it's going to be about water. Mariana's Trench live, oh my god, that was amazing. But my all-time favorite show of August, I think it was my 6th or 7th time seeing him, it was at the Winter's Frost Tour. Shit, it was something like that. Some Winter's Frost Tour. It was a sick lineup. It had Era on it. Shit, I see too many shows, I'm sorry, they all kind of mesh together. I see about 100 a year, or at least I used to, not as much as I used to. Anyways, at that song, they played songs I thought they'd never, ever play. Such as Meridian, the instrumental from Constellations. Not only that, the one song that blew my mind at that tour, it was before Majoring in the Minors was even out. I'm pretty sure it's when Rescue and Restore was first coming out. They blew my mind by playing 7 trumpets with Jake Lures behind the vocals. Now that was fucking orgasmic, let me tell you. But yeah, a lot to look forward to for this next album. I think it's going to be a killer, and I cannot wait to review it for you people. Hopefully I'll be under more sober conditions. Maybe I'll be less belligerent. Let's just call this post-credits section belligerent talk. August Burns Red is... There's a reason they're my all-time favorite band. There's a reason no other bands even come close to topping them. Every time I think I'm getting a little tired of August Burns Red because I've listened to their albums hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, they just released a new album that just brings them back to number 1. I say the only band that's come close to topping August, but they never reached the number 1 spot in my top 5 bands of all time list. Peripheries come close. Word Alive has honorable mention. Blessed Fall. A couple others come to mind. Era used to before they switched vocalists. Devil Wears Prada is definitely up there. I fucking love Prada. They sing about some interesting lyrics, and they really top the game, and I love it. I've seen Prada live a lot too. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta start editing this shit. Thank you all so much, and as always, stay lifting, my friends. Help me, the edibles have taken hold!